Welcome to this little quick start for Craig and Dave SmartRevise, primarily for Year 11 and Year 13. Now this demo is going to be the Year 11 course, but the Year 13 course should work almost the same. So the first thing to do is to get to SmartRevise, just do a little Google search and click your way through. And then once you're there, click Login. Now we're assuming that you've already signed up using the information on your email. Use Sign Up as Student if you haven't, but otherwise put your username and password in, log yourself in. Now when you arrive, you have to select your course. And then once you're on your course dashboard, you'll see any tasks that have been set by your teacher. So we're going to start off with that before we have a look at sort of generally browsing through the site. So if you've been set a task, click on the task and you get some basic instructions, obvious stuff. Notes down the number of questions you've actually got to answer in the quiz and how many you've got left to answer. You don't have to do it all in one go. You can actually do it a little bit at a time. So press start. Now we'll be looking at the different types of questions in a few minutes. You can browse forward and back and you can go straight to the next unanswered question by clicking this button. So here I've flipped to a different question and you can press the command word help if you're not sure what the key word in the question actually means. Useful for learning those command words. Don't forget to press the submit task for marking button before you click on to the next question. Now let's flip back to the course homepage and have a look at the options for the main browsing of the site. Now first of all, just these little buttons at the side. Analytics shows you some information about how you've answered questions so far. The system has a kind of inbuilt award system which you can take part in and have a little look at. There's also a report that gives you a general idea of how you're doing, how much time you spent on the site and all that kind of stuff. The most useful thing here is topic filters. Now pressing this gives you the entire course and all of the subheadings all sort of listed. Now you can tick off every single box if you want general questions across the whole spec, particularly useful at the end of the course I would think. But if you're revising a particular section, you can tick off that section, or indeed particular subsections, and they're the topics that the questions will be based on. So I'm just going to leave it selected on memory and storage, so I should only see questions on memory and storage from this point onwards. One important thing is to make sure that you scroll right to the bottom and actually press the update filter button, otherwise the changes that you make on the screen won't be fixed. Nice bright confirmation. Okay, so I can close that dialog and have a little look at these different sections. Now I'm going to go from the right to the left, starting off with terms. But I'm going to show you interactive mode. Now these are essentially flashcards. So it provides you with a term and you've got to put your answer into this space. Let's have an example. So once you've tapped in your definition, you can then flip the card and find out how it compares. Okay, now I'm fairly happy with my definition. I don't feel I need to add anything from their definition, so I'm actually going to put a smiley face on this one. And you'll also notice there's some additional information on particular terms also included in each question. And when you're ready, you can move on to the next one. So really good for building up your basic definitions, but notice also challenges you to actually write definitions down, which is really important. Okay, the next section is quiz, and this operates just like Seneca. So nice quick questions and multiple choice answers. But certainly better than Seneca. Once you've answered the question, whether you get it right or wrong, you get advice to read. So it gives you some additional information. If you're not sure, you've got direct access to the Craig and Dave video, and then you can move on to the next question, or of course, drop back to your homepage. Now those existing modes are all very well, but they're kind of very similar to the existing apps that you can get, Quizlet, Seneca, and they're of course great for building up your knowledge early on in the course. What you really need for exam success is practice questions. Luckily, Craig and Dave have you covered. Hundreds of questions available through the advanced section. So the advanced type presents you with an exam question. You have the unit reference here, so you know where in the spec you're being tested. Because it may present questions for a second time in the future, it tries to do that rarely, you can see when you last answered it. And as we mentioned, there's command word help as well. So the command word in this question, for example, is state. And so you've got space to enter your answer, and that's the first thing you should do. So let's put the correct answer into this question. Okay, so once your answer is in, you can press mark answer, and as well as a link to the Craig and Dave video on that particular topic, you've also got guided marking. Now this question only actually has 1 mark, so it's not a particularly good example. I'll show you another one in a second. But the guided marking asks you questions about your answer to help you to decide whether or not you're going to give it a mark or not give it a mark. So I'm very happy to say yes in this case. And once we're done, I can press submit marks and it takes me on to the next question. So here's another question that I've already attempted an answer, and I can press mark on this question. And this has 2 marks, but obviously there are quite a lot of possible advantages of SSDs. So did I say no moving parts? No, I didn't. Did I say faster data access speed? Yes, I did. Did I say more durable? No. But I did say relatively more expensive, so I'm happy to give myself the mark for that question. This is generally much easier to use than trying to go through a normal mark scheme. Now, one of the other great things about Craig and Dave is they are pledged to add additional features every month. So in the lead up to the exams, there's likely to be more features coming online as we go along. We'll keep you updated on any important features that we find, but keep exploring the site and let us know if there are any issues that you find. So the very best of luck in using this resource to maximise your performance in this summer's exams.